Warren County Fiscal Court, Thursday, December 21st, 2023 is now called to order. It's actually 8:59. Let the record state that I'm a minute early. We've got a great group of people here today, and we're excited about that. We're going to start off our meeting, however, today, as we always do, with an invocation, and we're happy to have Pastor Tony Brown from New Life Baptist Church is with us today. After that prayer, then we'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. That'll be done by Esquire Scott Lasley today. Pastor Brown, shall we pray?
Heavenly Father, you've ordained government, and so we stand before you today to give to you this political body. We ask that you bestow your grace and your blessing, your wisdom to them and the decisions that they make. As we reflect upon this season, God, we thank you that the true reason for Christmas is the fact that you gave us the greatest gift ever in your Son, the Lord Jesus. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Here.
Esquire Aldridge.
Here.
Esquire Lasley.
Here.
Esquire Cummings.
Here.
Esquire Williams.
Here.
First item on the agenda is approved minutes of the fiscal court meeting on December 7th, 2023. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire McWhorter. Just corrections, please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Item 5 is approved personnel changes for Warren County. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire Cummings. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Next item, approved work schedule for the Warren County Road Department. Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Williams. That's what I thought. That's, it looks like you're approving everything today, Squire Williams. All right, questions or corrections? If not, please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
All right, we're going to take a break in the exciting agenda for Warren County Fiscal Court. First off, before we do anything, I want to welcome, obviously a great friend and mentor to me, but our favorite person, Judge Mike Buchanan's in the house today, back here. He presided here for 29 years and never started 8:59, which is why ever. So, but it's always great to be with him. So we're pretty excited about what we have going on today. We have two different groups of young people who've made quite an impact for our community, but quite an impact for their life, because for the rest of their lives and for their children's lives in the future and grandchildren and great-grandchildren, they will always be called a state champion. And for anyone here, which is probably the greater majority, at some point in their life you played some sport or did something competitive. And if you were like me, you always dreamed of that, it never did it. No one can ever say that about me, but they can say it about you. And I think, I just want to say very quickly, I think in a lot of times in society we say, man, we just have no chance. Look at our youth, because they said that about my generation, and probably said it about my parents' generation, and they say it about that. And then I look out among this, and what I see is hope. I see future leaders and hope for a better society, because what it takes is hard work. It takes dedication. It's what I love about team sports. You got to pick up your teammate. Who here since August had a horrible day at practice? And got home, and the coach didn't coddle you Didn't tell you it's okay, just try harder. It made a difference because they got after you because what they knew was you had the potential for greatness and they were not going to accept anything short of that. And so at the time, when you were getting chewed on, you thought to yourself, man, this sucks. But then you get to the final stage and everyone's looking at you and all the pressure, and then you perform and you do great. And so first off, I want to thank the coaches who've dedicated their time to pouring into these young people to make a difference in their life. So for the coaches, thank you for all that you've done. And for our students from Bowling Green High School, what a proud day we've had in this community. Obviously we want everyone to succeed, but when you're the best of the best, it's a great day. And I just truly believe we live in the greatest city in the greatest county in the Commonwealth of Kentucky, but really in America. 3,100 counties, by the way, in America, and I think this is the best one. But it is because of days like today. And so I just want to tell you on behalf of 140,000 citizens, thank you. Thank you for making us all proud. We're first going to have the football team up. I'm going to call the coaches out now. They sent me a list of the 9 people that were coming. So we do have a certificate that we're going to send to everyone because Coach Spader is in the house. That's good. He coaches much better than communicates, and I like that. I like that, Coach. No, I'm playing. Yes, no one's more surprised at 9 o'clock when school's out that everyone showed up. So that's good. So that tells you all you need to know. But we do want to we're going to first talk about our great football team. So Bowling Green High School Purples compete in 5A. And they had a fantastic year this year, 12-3. They started off, they might have thought was a little rocky with some tough fought games and some early losses, but they played an insanely tough schedule. And the coaches did that on purpose so that when you got to the playoffs, it made a difference. And I wanted to share one thing with you. They in the playoffs, they outscored their opponents 216-43. Now that's supposed to be the best. Everyone else is trying to get to that point too. And an absolute smackdown on everyone they played, which I love. I like to have no doubt about it at the end of the game. Running clock, yes. But when they did it, that's what that hard work from July on made a difference. And so forever, the 2023 state champions will be the Bowling Green High School Purples, and we're so very proud of this entire team. I will say this very quickly. Their overall scoring, 655 points to 247, and that's the highest scoring in 5A. So just an insane, great defense, great offense, a great group of people. And at this time, we would like to ask all the coaches and the players to come forward. We do have something we want to take a picture of, and then we will get a certificate to it. But if we can have a round of applause for the Bowling Green High School Purples. Communicate effectively. So we're going to start with this young man right here. And we're going to say your name, your grade in school, and your position. And if we can't hear you, I promise we'll start over again. No, I'm playing. All right, we'll start right here.
My name is Fiscal. I'm a sophomore. I'm going to Bowling High. I'm play guard.
We all know you from Bowling Green. That's good.
Junior, defensive back.
Evan Tuck, senior, wide Brady Widener, junior, kicker.
Jay Jackson, junior, linebacker.
Alex Hampton, senior, DN. Gordon Willis, senior, O-line.
CJ Swing, junior, wide receiver.
Marcus Elliott, senior, O-line. Hunter Swing, junior, guard.
Harley Constance, junior, DB.
Hudson Altmeyer, senior, sophomore, receiver.
Matthew Todd, senior, tight end. Drew Jones, sophomore, quarterback. Trapper Vernon, junior, linebacker.
Parker Fields, junior, O-line.
Easton Barlow, senior, wide receiver.
Zach Jordan, sophomore, offensive line.
Colton Price, senior, linebacker. Alex Johnson, sophomore, offensive line.
Jalen Huddleston, senior, running back.
Logan Johnson, sophomore, linebacker.
Blake Ritchie, sophomore, DB.
That's great. What are the chances of right back row back here? All right. I'm free, say your favorite village name. I'm kidding.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Greg, yeah, don't play me. Don't play me.
Hey, Coach.
I tell you what, their quarterback is a stud. They can
Well, they should have, yes. That was very rude, wasn't it?
We was trying to get those guys to cheer for y'all.
yeah.
Okay. Hey, Brian, you want to hand these out? Are these hopefully
Not
in
very
order?
big, but he's good.
Like, are these in order from this time? You want to go down here? We'll just start.
It could be awesome next year.
They got a kid transfer. One of the star students transferred.
And again, Bobby's right here, but they don't
I don't know. They, but these kids,
That's
they got
That's all right. Well, I'm very excited to have this next group of young ladies with us again, representing this community in such a big way, and no pressure on these young ladies about the tradition that they have at Bowling Green High School. And it is one of those things where it's expected, isn't it? And that's a lot of pressure. And then they get to a competition, and one small slip can make all the difference in the world. It's a very, very tough sport. And so not only do they cheer and lead cheers for all the sports teams, but then they have their own competitions, which are unbelievable. And to be state champions is awesome, but they're not finished. They've got a lot of things to do, and of course, they're set up very similar to the Sweet 16 in basketball. There is a team that represents each region that has to go through that competition and win the region, and then go to that There's only 2 seniors on this team. Who are the seniors on the team? That's fantastic. Only 2 seniors on this team, so a very young team, and yet they won the state championship. And what an awesome honor at that. They will be competing at the National High School Cheerleading Championship in February, and that is held at Disney World in Orlando, Florida, and it'll be televised on ESPN. So the most important thing is, here in February, you'll be able to see all of these young ladies again on your TV, and what a great thing it is. But we're honored to have each and every one of you here. It makes a difference in our community, and it's the type of things that sets us apart. And we're honored to have you. I know it is a ton of hard work. And I think what people don't realize is how much practice and how much effort goes in to what you all have accomplished. And so we're proud of each one of you. We do have a certificate for each one of you. And so when I call your name, I'd like you to come up here, and you can stay up here. We'll just line up here, but our Deputy Judge Brian Downey's got a certificate. We'd like to offer that to you then when it's over with. And we also have Leah Blankenship as one of the coaches here today. Leah, thank you for your hard work as well. So when I call your name, if you could come forward, that'd be great, and then stay up here. We'll start off. Kiara Williams. Emily Franklin. Okay, these are 2 seniors. All right, yes. It's not alphabetical by height, it's by senior, so that's good. So that's fantastic. Abigail Darling. Kendall Stamps. Mogi Bradley. Michelle Brooks. Ella Griggs. Michaela Pratt. Adeline Drain. Cadence Dunnigan. Abby Mantlow. And Reagan Skaggs could not be with us today, but I would ask for you to keep her in your prayer. She is battling a little illness right now, and if you would remember Reagan Skaggs in your prayers, I would greatly appreciate it. Claire Hood, who came to visit Santa at my house when she was 2 years old. Frankie Crabtree. Essence Reed. Ricky Lynn Marcy. Addie Day. Dejala Dixon. Natalia Kantoski. Edie St. John. Ella Kate Napier. Making her first appearance in Warren County, Ruth E. Milliken. Mom, she didn't like that a bit, I can tell. Carrie Beth Bowen. Carrie Beth Bowen. Addie Brown. Lily Botkin. Brooklyn Whitney. Annie Boyd. Alyssa Toohey. Jillian Morell. Tucker Griffin. Harper Ferris. I also have Sophia Ross and Mia Menke, I believe it says. Is that right? Let's give these this great group of young ladies a round of applause. All right, again, if you wouldn't mind, if you'd indulge us for, oh my God. I'll move up here.
They are ready.
You don't have to tell cheerleaders. They know how to take a picture.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Work-life balance. Franklin Bank's all about it.
I have one question. Who's the one that gets all the way up to the top? Y'all are my heroes because there's no way I can.
Yes, good luck in Florida. Thank you all so much.
Congrats. Great job.
Please, yeah.
Great job, guys.
Yeah, get the girls. They're all here, so.
Who's he like?
Have Jeffrey take it. Don't put him in the picture.
Have fun, okay? Congratulations.
I know, yeah, yeah. Oh, I'm well aware. You got the white jacket. I remember. It was her.
Senior career, right?
Okay. There you go. Not bad.
Yeah.
You still have a pretty good group. Is that the first time you've got a trophy?
February. It's in February, yeah.
You can run it out there so they can take it to him. They can take it to him and run out.
Okay, it appears that no one else here has won anything, so we will continue the. That's right. So we have another presentation after this, but we are going to move on to item number 7. And that is approved first reading of ordinance 2378, authorizing the issuance of one or more series of its hospital revenue bonds, series 2024, Bowling Green Warren County Community Hospital Corporation, and the aggregate principal amount of not to exceed $180 million, and the loan of the proceeds of the sale thereof to Bowling Green Warren County Community Hospital Corporation to A, finance certain hospital, healthcare, and related facilities of the corporation, B, pay capitalized interest, and C, pay all or a portion of the cost of issuance, authorizing the preparation and distribution of a preliminary official statement and an official statement relating to the bonds, authorizing the execution and delivery on behalf of the county of an indenture of trust pursuant to which the bonds will be issued, a loan agreement between the county as lender and the corporation as borrower, providing for loan repayment sufficient to pay the principal of and interest on the bonds as the same become due, a tax regulatory agreement relating to the bonds, and a bond purchase agreement providing for the sale of the bonds on a negotiated basis and taking other related action. We have a motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire Aldridge. I'm going to have Gil Johnson, Warren County's bond counsel, come forward. We are happy to have Connie Smith, the CEO of Med Center Health, and also Michelle Lawless, the CFO, here with us as well to answer any questions additionally. But we'll have Gil speak.
Do you notice how, can you hear me? I guess if that's working or not, but just in an interest with Judge Buchanan was here, I want you to know, do you notice how short that was?
Yes, I appreciate that, Mr. Vitale.
It's a tradition of bond counsels worldwide to do that. This kind of came, I guess, in December, so there was kind of a rushed review of the same. I'm familiar with the law firm that deals with these things on behalf of the medical center, and first of all, they're top notch. Secondly, one of the things, there were 2 or 3 things that I was asked to do, and one of them was to go through not only the ordinance, but the documents that you referenced, Judge, when you read the ordinance. And so I'll give you just a preliminary review of it. This is a little different from the industrial revenue bonds I think you all are used to seeing me bring before this fiscal court. It's different in the sense that the bonds will be offered in the capital markets. I know you said private negotiated sale, but there is an underwriter. The underwriter is Bank of America, so that gives a great deal of comfort that an institution that large and deals in municipal bond financing is involved in the transaction. I have been on conference calls with them, and they and the medical center are pursuing it correctly. Number one, if you will look on page 4, section 9, is the magical language that has been added to the or part of the ordinance that limits your liability. So even though this is a different type of bond issue in the sense of how it's being handled in the capital markets, you have no obligation or responsibility for the debt service payments due on this particular deal, period. That is also statute. KRS 103-230 subpart 2 provides for that. So they've incorporated that similar language into the ordinance, and that's acceptable. The next thing, Judge, that you asked me to go through was the loan agreement, the trust indenture. The loan agreement has similar language, a little bit more in detail, but again, it clearly identifies and sets forth the county has no obligation or liability. That's important. The same for the trust indenture. So what's going to happen, these bond proceeds will, when the bonds are sold in the capital markets, those proceeds will go directly to the trustee, and the trustee will be responsible for handling from that part forward. Next would be the, I think I said loan agreement. There's no other pilot agreement or anything of that nature, which you would be used to in this particular case, because the medical center is a 501c3, and your participation is important in order to secure the tax-exempt status of these bonds. And last but not least is the preliminary official statement. An official statement, that document is still in the works, but it will contain, or I will ensure that it contains, the language that we talked about limiting liability, because that's what tells the investors that it is limited liability. And of course, the bond certificates themselves, as required by statute, will have that language in there. So I've gone through those. I've made my suggestions, and every one of them was accepted, and I'm very, very comfortable with this in the transaction.
Great, thank you, Gil. Any questions for Gil on those documents? We appreciate your work, but we definitely appreciate MedCenter Health. This is a monumental investment in our community, a 5-story tower that's going to be added to the medical center campus, along with a few other options, something on Lovers Lane and some other things, but a $180 million investment in our community, and continues to be obviously one of our largest employers, one of our most valuable ones, but one that makes a difference in the community. And what it really ends up will be doing is providing better health care to all the citizens of the community. So fiscal court, I know we've been able to do this in the past, and we're honored that you would come to us and let us assist in this. Any questions for Gil or for anyone but Mike Vitale? Any questions for the medical center?
No, make Mike speak. He was telling me he didn't have to speak. Get him.
No, we're good. So no, but any questions on this right here? Great. All right. Clerk, please call roll.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Great. Congratulations. We're looking forward to that development. Thank you so very much for the investment.
You should know that we'll come back on the 11th.
Yes. Yeah, the second reading will be 11th, but we're excited about that. So.
You want to get our picture?
Yeah, sure. Merry Christmas.
We have a certificate for Michelle and Connie. We didn't know you were coming, Mike. So.
Merry Christmas.
That's great. Hey, at this time, I also want to have two more things I'd like to do, and at this point, we're happy to have Stan Reagan here with us and Lawrence White. We've asked that are helping us with solid waste, but I've asked Sam Upperman from Scott Waste to give us a brief update on here at the end of the year and what we can expect over the Christmas season, but also things that Scott Waste is working on.
Good morning. Thank you for the time. So yeah, just a quick update of what's going on. The judge asked me to come and just kind of talk about some of the things we're doing in relation to brush and bulk and over the holiday season. So I know brush and bulk has been a big item over the last 90 days in particular with the fall coming on, but it's really been the most seamless season that we've had, based on our call volume in some time. Like we mentioned when we first got here, we kind of base our progress and our how we're doing on our call volume, and it's been the lowest it's been in over 3 years. So we're back to pre-COVID levels of call volumes. Typically from Warren County all in, we're between 25 and 75 calls a day, and a lot of those are payments and other items, just simple questions. I actually thought our complaint log was broken, but it's not. We've actually been, getting single digits and below 20 per month over the last 60 days, which is a big deal for us. Just to put it into perspective, we've picked up 2,653 brush and bulk orders since September 1st. And that doesn't include the bags of leaves our guys are going around and throwing it in. I think that education piece that I worked on with these gentlemen really helps. We had a lot more people raking it to the street than bags sitting out this year, which is fantastic. And again, it's just a testament to the continuous education that's contractually that we're doing here. We've also increased our service standards. If we get a call from the county, our goal is to beat Lawrence out there. He makes it tough on us, but if we get a call, we're racing them to that resident's house and really trying to make that connection with them. We have high supervisor engagement. One thing I did want to highlight, when I first got here about 16 months ago, we had 68 full-time employees. Now we're at 82. We just added 2 more to our head count, and we're really focusing on hiring people, from Warren County. It's going to be your neighbors, your friends, people that are engaged and involved in the community. We think that provides a much better quality of customer service, and I'm hoping that you all have seen that reflected over the past year or so. We're not perfect, but we're certainly getting as close to it as we can be. We're getting, compliments 3 to 1, and that's a complete 180 from where we were this time last year. Really. Some of the winter challenges we're facing, obviously it's additional volume with Amazon boxes sitting out, but we're taking good care of our drivers. The community's being very gracious with them this time of year and taking care of them, leaving cookies, that sort of thing. So if you guys are talking to your constituents, please, if we can give them little tips to not block the trash can, especially as it gets cold and icy, it creates a lot more challenges for the drivers out there. They're dealing with increased people at home, so a lot more cars on the street, so they're having to weave in and out. So they have much longer days, just kind of like the mailmen and UPS and FedEx this time of year. They're out there as many hours, trying to weave in and out of traffic and keeping everybody safe while we go through this. Any delays that we may face, we'll obviously put out our press releases, and we'll communicate with Lawrence and Stan, through the season, as well as all of you to cite any weather delays, cold weather delays. Those were the highlights, Judge. If you all have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Well, most importantly, Christmas is on a Monday, so I assume everyone's backed up a day next week on their delivery.
Correct.
On their pickup.
Correct. Yep. We'll just push it back one day, and we'll pick up Fridays on Saturday.
And then what is your policy on broken down boxes, et cetera, after Christmas or things like this? What's that look like?
If we can put as many as we can in the cart, that'll help. But we understand the additional volume, and we'll take care of it.
Okay. I do think it's important. People sometimes think you don't want to be crazy out there, but at the same time, that lid does not have to close. Correct. It just has to be in that thing. They will pick it up, and so if you go by my house, you'll see stuff sticking 4 feet above it. That's where I am.
Playing Jingo.
Yeah. So, but that is important because I think sometimes people get frustrated and they put the things to the side where it's okay to have it sticking up. But I wanted to make sure. But any questions, the magistrates, or any concerns that you've encountered, now would be a good time if there's anything going on. Right. Sam, we appreciate it. Appreciate you working with Stan and Lawrence and trying and ensuring that. We want to get to where there's no issues. I don't mind telling you. You guys have a job to do, and we have a job to do to hire you to do the city of Bowling Green and the county, the things you're doing. We want to continue to have the best service possible, so we appreciate all the hard work, and Merry Christmas to your whole crew there.
Absolutely.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sam. And I invited a guest today because he's never been in fiscal court. And matter of fact, he thought this was where he has a speeding ticket, and he thought he's coming forward. But I asked him to come up for a couple seconds, but State Representative Kevin Jackson really has done great work, worked with him an awful lot on some transportation issues, some other things in the county, and I just want to recognize, thank you for coming today, Kevin.
Thank you, Judge Gorman. Good morning, everybody. Good to see you. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Doug said I had about 30 minutes, and I think I can get my presentation in 30 minutes. Oh, excuse me. I guess I've been cut off. No, as Doug said, we start back to Frankfurt in about 10 days, and this is the budget session. It is the long session, 60-day session. So I want you to know you are the envy of the state of Kentucky and Frankfurt. People ask me every day up there, what are you doing in Bowling Green? What's going on down there in Bowling Green and Warren County? And my answer is we work together. The city works with the county. The county and the city work with the Chamber of Commerce. Our legislators work together to benefit Bowling Green and Warren County. And I thought everybody did that, but I come to find out that's not the case all across Kentucky. So I want to thank you, Judge and magistrates and fiscal court, for your part in making this a great place to live, work, and raise a family. And as Doug said, this year we've done a lot of work together. I had an opportunity to take 2 road projects back to Frankfurt, kind of my pet peeves, things that I wanted to see done. So I met with Doug, I met with Mayor Alcott, we met with the Transportation Department 3 or 4 times. And when it was over, I said, okay, Doug, what's your one project? Okay, Mayor, what's your one project? And I took those 2 projects back, not what I wanted to take back what they wanted. And Doug told me what he wanted, the mayor told me what he wanted, and I took those 2 road projects back to Frankfurt, and hopefully they will be in the 6-year road plan.
Hoping.
We're also working on a mental health. We're on a task force for mental health situation here in Bowling Green. We all know how bad of a problem that is. And Doug and I and the mayor and many other people have been involved in that process. And we're hoping that that will lead to a new drop-off mental health facility for our law enforcement here in Bowling Green and Warren County, and maybe even the surrounding counties. Right now, they spend about 4.5 hours every time they get a call to go out on a mental health call. Ron's in his underwear out in the middle of the street throwing rocks at cars. Then they spend about 4.5 hours with that individual. In Nashville, they have a drop-off facility, and they spend 8 minutes with that individual. They pick them up, they take them to this drop-off facility, and it's about 8 minutes. So instead of our law enforcement spending 4.5 hours each time they get a call like this, we want it to be like Nashville, where it's 8 minutes. So we are in the process, and I thank the judge and everybody involved in that task force. And we think it's going to happen. It may not happen this year, it may not happen next year, but we're laying the groundwork for it. So just to let you know a couple of things that are going on, but Judge, I'm here for you. I'm here for the city. Anything that we can do this session, I look forward to seeing you in Frankfurt, but anything that we can do to make this a better community, it's already the best, but anything we can do to make it a better community, we want to do that.
That's
Merry
great.
Christmas, Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas, Representative Jackson. Thank you for your hard work. All right, we'll go back to the agenda on item 8, approve second and final reading of ordinance 2372, setting aside ordinance 2369, and rezoning property located at 1771 Hydro Palmsville Road from agriculture to rural residential and residential estate containing approximately 5.541 acres and presently owned by Rodney Burns. Motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Aldridge. Questions or discussion? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Item 9, approve determination the amount of $150,381.96 to Motorola Solutions for 38 portable radios and related equipment from Motorola Solutions for the Warren County Regional Jail. This project is funded with Securus Capital Improvement Funds at no cost to Warren County, and this is a single source vendor.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire Aldridge. Jailer Harmon. Any questions? Perfect. All right. Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Item 10 is approved determination amount of $6,850 to 908 Devices for the annual support renewal and warranty on the MX 908 drug detection device for the jail. This will be paid for by the canteen account at no cost to Warren County. This is a single source vendor.
So moved.
Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire McWhorter. Questions or discussion? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Item 11 is approve emergency determination, the amount of $2,916 to Train for emergency replacement of a fan motor in an air conditioner unit at the jail. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire Cummings. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Item 12 is approved first reading of ordinance 2373, rezoning property located Glasgow Road and C.W. Moore Road from agriculture to residential estate containing approximately 8.005 acres and presently owned by the Edwards Family Trust, care of Travis Edwards. Motion by Squire Lasley, second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Item 13 is approved first reading of ordinance 2374, rezoning property located at 0 Plano Road from agriculture to residential estate containing approximately 3.79 acres and presently owned by Mark and Robin Douglas. Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Lasley. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Item 14 is approved first reading of ordinance 2375, rezoning property located at 3010 and 3040 Bill Deadman Road from agriculture to rural residential containing approximately 9.7722 acres and presently owned by Glenda F. Rigsby Estate, care of Doris Actiarli.
So moved.
Motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Item 15 is approved first reading of ordinance 2376, rezoning property located at 3415 Hammett Hill Road from agriculture to rural residential containing approximately 2.00 acres and presently owned by Brad Carr.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Item 16 is approved determination, the amount of $42,703 to Don Franklin Dealership of Somerset, Kentucky for the purchase of a 2023 Dodge Durango for the regional jail. This is state contract pricing. 3 separate quotes were solicited. This will be paid for with Securus Capital Improvement Funds at no cost to Warren County. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire Cummings. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Item 17 is approved first reading of ordinance 2377, establishing Poplar Log Drive, County House Lane, McIntyre Street, Barron's Gap Way, Shallowford Street, James Allen Way, Helmsdale Avenue, and Cedar Run Street located in McClellan Crossing Subdivision Phase 2 and 3 as county roads and authorizing maintenance thereon and setting speed limits thereon.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Aldridge. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley?
Yes.
Esquire Cummings?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams?
Yes.
Item 18 is approved determination amount of $6,500 even for Stormwater's Cornerstone Partnership with the Builders Association of South Central Kentucky. Motion by Squire Lasley, second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley?
Yes.
Esquire Cummings?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams?
Yes.
Item 19 is grant authority to advertise for proposals for payroll and human resources software. Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Aldridge. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley?
Yes.
Esquire Cummings?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams?
Yes.
Item 20 is approved determination amount of $3,898.24 to Wright Implement for computer replacement in the John Deere Motrim for the road department. This is a single source vendor. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley?
Yes.
Esquire Cummings?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams?
Yes.
Item 21 is approve updated Warren County Regional Jail Handbook.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Lasley. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley?
Yes.
Esquire Cummings?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams?
Yes.
Item 22 is approve Warren County Regional Jail Policy and Procedure revisions. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley?
Yes.
Esquire Cummings?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams?
Yes.
Item 23 is approve emergency determination not to exceed $6,029 monthly to United Rentals for use of a temporary generator to provide emergency power backup at the regional jail on a month-to-month basis. Future invoices will be billed at $5,024. Jailer Harmon?
Judge, I just wanted to clarify a couple of things about this item. The main generator that powers the oldest section of the jail, which is about 400 inmates, went out. It's not the generator itself, the motor necessarily, but at the control switch, and it's old enough that you can't get parts. No one makes it anymore. So we called around to see what we could get in place that day, because we have to have power backup. And this was the cheapest and best at the $6,029. The reason we're doing a month-to-month on this is Ronnie's office was kind enough to include us on a grant, a FEMA grant, to have that generator replaced. However, it went out before we could get it replaced. So if you spend the money now on a new generator and then they approve the grant, they won't pay for it. So we're having to do something temporary until we find out if we're getting the money from the FEMA grant to cover it. And I worked with Ronnie on this project, and then I was able to negotiate down the ongoing cost after the initial hookup in month to the $5,024. And so this is temporary until we learn about the grant and go from there.
Do we have a timeline on when we will hear?
I don't think we do. We're hoping in January to hear something.
Okay. Just curious, that replacement cost?
Probably around $150,000 for the transfer switch, the switch that controls it. And this is one it's indoor, but it's vented outside the building. It's not a typical generator setup, so it's going to be very expensive. It's never good when she's talking to you about an item I have on the agenda.
Man, Steven, jeez, oh, Pete. No, yeah, we probably, just because of that timing, Ronnie, and thanks for that hard work, and for Steven, we'll plan on reviewing this the 1st of February at fiscal court to ensure hopefully we'll know in January, but rather than, and we're going to approve this as is, but not to have an ongoing forever. Because we have to make a decision. So we'll plan on the first meeting in February to get a review. If you have an update before then, obviously, but let's plan that so we can have a review in February to ensure where we're going, because we just do not want to enter into a long-term rental on this if we have to replace it and buy it ourselves. I do appreciate, though, Ronnie, the hard work, and Stephen, I'm trying to get this done from a FEMA grant, but let's let that play out, but we'll readdress it.
Thanks, sir.
All right. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire Cummings. Further discussion or questions? Just call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Item 24 is approve November 2023 Treasurer's Report. Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Lasley. Discussion or questions? Please call roll.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Item 25, approve the 2023 budget amendment for the Warren County Sheriff's Department. Motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Cummings. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Item 26, approve the 2024 budget for the Warren County Sheriff's Department. And I know Chief Deputy Kevin Wiles is with us today, taking over for Sheriff Hightower, although Jessica's in the back of the room. I mean, I already know you got backup. So, yeah, exactly right. We can't wait to hear what you have to say, Kevin, because it's like, here's Jessica. No, he knows exactly what's going on. Very quickly, though, just as a reminder, our fee-based departments, our clerk and our Sheriff's Department, they're on a calendar year budget. And so we're approving this budget for 2025 calendar year, even though we're on a fiscal year budget. And so that's what, 2024, sorry, for that. So that is why we have both the sheriff and the clerk here today on their budgets. It starts January 1. Kevin?
Judge, just wanted to, on behalf of Sheriff Hightower, express his regrets for not being here on this important occasion. I did listen closely for waves in the background. I didn't hear any, so I do think he's not feeling good. Otherwise, he would have been here. So I'm happy to answer any questions, and Jessica's also my phone a friend if there are any. So.
We do have an increase this year from the fiscal court's contribution, and some of that is from the cost of living increases that we did in July, and so of course that hits their budget for this year. But we also were able to increase a little bit for our dispatchers and that important job as well. So, but Jessica and Deputy Wiles are here. Any questions for them?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire Aldridge. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Item 27 is approve the 2024 budget for the Warren County Clerk's Office, and Lynette Yates is with us today, our Warren County Clerk.
Good morning, everyone. Merry Christmas. You all look so great. Okay, I've presented my budget. You can see we have a little bit of a surplus on our payroll budget this year, so we're coming in under. So is there any questions? Anyone have anything?
Anytime you can do that,
Say yes
Lynette,
to
you make
Yates,
it-
please.
Say yes to Yates, that's right.
Make
So,
a motion.
motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire McWhorter. Any questions for our clerk? Great, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Crystal, please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
For the record, that was not about Lynette, so you're safe, Lynette, so.
It was the next one. And you see papers flying, you're like, what's going on?
You and me both, that's fine, so. All right, 28, approve the new American Workforce Navigator Agreement between Warren County, the City of Bowling Green, and the South Central Workforce Development Board for the funding of a full-time new American Workforce Navigator position at a cost of $22,500 each for the first 6-month term and $45,000 each for the 12-month term thereafter. I will share with you our new American Workforce Navigator, Anna Sandoval. She had a goal of trying to place our new Americans who are coming here that we're trying to get into the workforce. She had a goal of placing 80 new Americans into jobs for the year, and she did 422 last year. It is one of the most successful programs for workforce that we are doing and participating in. She's done a fantastic job, and we're going to get her a little extra help because what she's been able to do to help our industry and other people in this area has been phenomenal. And so, you know, we're always tweaking, always looking what is working, be honest with you, what's not working, to make sure we can do whatever we can to ensure as many people as possible are working. And again, our entire goal is to increase that workforce participation percentage. A increase of 10% would be monumental for this community. And as we all know, a job makes a difference in everyone's life. And so she's done a great job. But that's what this is about here. I'm happy to answer any questions on that. They could not, we had a conflict. They've got 3 appointments this morning. And so, but I meet with them all the time and happy to have that discussion, but can answer any questions as well. If not, I'll take a motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire McWhorter. Any other discussion? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Item 29 is accept lowest and best bid from Green River Rentals for the purchase of 4 portable light towers for Parks and Rec at a cost of $13,995 each to illuminate athletic fields at Jennings Creek Elementary and Moss Middle School. 3 bid packages were picked up. This was the only bid received. If you remember earlier, you had approved some items that we're doing. We are going to help that area there, and our Parks and Recreation, Chris Comer's here today as well, but our efforts to do some things at the Moss Jennings Creek area so we can expand our parks into the western part of the county as well. This is part of that.
I have a question.
Yes.
I'll do the motion first.
Oh, a motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire Aldridge, but just have Chris up here. Ron?
Yeah, $56,000 for some light things sounds quite expensive. What's the chance of us getting something permanent out there, just get some stuff built?
So this will be a temporary fix. The Warren County Public School System that we have a great partnership with, they have detailed plans to develop an athletic complex area in that area. The time frame for that is yet unknown, and so what this will do is this will allow us to illuminate the fields through an integrated system to be able to play soccer, lacrosse, football, other sports. We actually did that this past fall using other resources that we partnered up with to bring in so the kids could play. And I think that I was looking at the faces at the beginning of court. I think the investment that we make on quality of life, and this is one of those investments, when we're done using these towers at Moss and Jennings Creek, we have multiple fields throughout the system that we are not able to play nights on. Fields 9 and 10, Field 8 at Griffin. We have used light towers in the past to illuminate those fields to be able to basically run tournaments, do events, do activities. And so once we're done at Jennings and Moss and the permanent facility is built, we plan on transitioning these to other unlit ball fields. Currently, right now, we have 4 fields in the system. The 2 lacrosse soccer fields at Michael Buchanan Park are illuminated with portable towers. Ephraim White Park has 2 soccer fields that are partially lit by illuminated light towers, and this will enable us to be able to control the lighting feature. That's one reason they're so expensive, is these are kind of like their own standalone lighting units that can be integrated as a set of 4, and we'll be able to control these from our central office. So from a turn-on, turn-off standpoint, we're not going to have staff
every single day over there, turning on switches and doing all that, just because we don't have the resources to do that. This will enable us to turn lights on, turn lights off, just like we do at Bristow, Richardsville with their Musco lighting system. So it is a fairly substantial expense. However, this will enable us to play ball there, help the school system with their soccer program, the cross program, after-school program, and our broader vision of what we're trying to bring to that side of town to make an impact for a lot of the kids in that west side community that truly are underserved when it comes to recreational offerings on that side of the county.
There's no doubt that that area deserves and needs this thing versus how much would it cost to buy one of these towers?
So to illuminate a ball field, we're gonna purchase these towers. To illuminate a ball field, the 2022 pricing to do roughly a 60-foot infield area, for example, or a 40 by 80 ball field area. The standing price last year to illuminate a facility is about $180,000. That's minimum. That's basically for the stands, the light towers. That doesn't include the installation and the electrical work that would be needed at the facility. So even though it is kind of expensive, I think for the time that we're in right now, it's a very good measure that we will be able to utilize these towers, both at Moss and Jennings, but then also they're gonna be able to be used next day at our other facilities to better illuminate some fields.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Great, thank you, Chris. Any other questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Next item is approve agreement with FEMA for use of the meeting room at Ephraim White Gymnasium for storm recovery efforts through March 31st, 2024. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Item 31 is order 2327, reappointing Jim Lockwood to the Board of Adjustments. Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Lasley. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Item 32 is approved budget transfers for Warren County. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Item 33 is approved first reading of ordinance 2379, assessing additional fees and cost in circuit and district court civil and criminal cases. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire Cummings. Statutory, something we have to do. Any other discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Item 34 is approved first reading of ordinance 2380, requiring circuit court clerk to comply with Crime Stoppers fee bill. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire Cummings. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Treasurer, please report the claims.
General Fund, $2,091,117. Road Fund, $96,672. Jail Fund, $634,694. Stormwater Fund, $59,753. Grant Fund, $1,000. E911 Fund, $12,263. And Fed Forfeiture Fund, $230. We have to answer any questions.
Motion to pay the claims.
Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire McWhorter to pay the claims. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
All right, Chief Deputy Wiles, just give Sheriff Hightower our best. He is actually a little under the weather, and so he's not at the beach, so we'll keep that. Lynette?
On behalf of everyone in Ford County Clerk's Office, Merry Christmas and thank you.
Merry Christmas to you too. Jailer Harmon? Merry Christmas to you. You had 14 items on the agenda, Jailer. I lost count. It's something like that. It was a lot, but you do a great job, Stephen, and we appreciate the hard work. Thank you to your staff as well. Again, we have so many people, but to keep in mind, so Christmas Day, that's just another day for a lot of his staff, and so if you'll just keep those people that do work, same with Deputy Wiles, they are working around the clock, so thank you for that. Mr. Comer? Thank you. Josh?
Yes, sir. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. Nikki? Merry Christmas. How's the ice rink going? That was a fantastic report. Pretty excited about that. No, I'm kidding you. See, you should. But I did take my little chipmunks down there the other day. It's fantastic, and I counted because I was like blown away. But there was about 109 people on the ice at one time. So, but really, it's taken off great, and so it's things. And I just would encourage everyone, if you have not been down, please do not let this season go by without going to the Soaky Ice Rink. You can just watch people. Kevin Jackson goes down there and practices all the time. Just go down there and you can check him out. So, Holly with the
Oh, okay.
This never happens. I was going to wait and do this at my board meeting, but you didn't attend the board meeting. So I'm going to do it on this venue. Thank you, Tom, for attending all our meetings. I really appreciate that.
Thank you all for attending while I was in the hospital. Go on, Holly.
I wanted to note that when I started here in 2001, this particular individual was on the board already for the Contractors Licensing Board. And so that kind of tells you how old he is. But anyway, you have been on and off this board for over 10 years, and you just got off in 22. So we were going to present you a plaque for your years of service at the Licensing Board. So this is presented to Doug Gorman for over 10 years of service to the Contractors Licensing Board.
That's very kind. There was did I get a gift certificate? There was a meal. Did I just?
You don't get any.
Just the plaque,
meal
okay.
vouchers, nothing.
Yes, sir.
Did the rest of the board get any for putting up for 10 years with him?
I missed my first meeting. No, when I first got on, I just kind of blew it off. Buster Stewart called and said, "Hey, brother, let me share something with you. You got to come to these meetings." I'll be there. I just couldn't make the first one. I remember to this day.
You didn't miss
I didn't miss
that.
a day.
That's fun.
And I will say, Holly does a great job down there, really does. It's a vitally important organization that we have. It does keep most importantly, the constituents safe. And again, for the 1,000,000th time, do not ever do business in Warren County with someone that's not licensed through the Contractors Licensing Board. It is very important. You have someone come give you you cannot believe the horror stories of people paying $30,000 and $40,000 and $50,000 up front to an unlicensed contractor, and shockingly, they never see him again, and it happens more than you would imagine. Holly, thank you for doing that and keeping this community safe, so please extend my best wishes to the whole board. I did hate to miss that meeting, so. Ronnie.
Thank you, sir. Wish everybody a safe and Merry Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas. We're not going to have a white Christmas, that's good, but we also, I don't know if we need 67 degrees either, so a little crazy, but thank you for all that. I know Tommy had a meeting he had to go to. Ben, everything good in your world?
Thank you, Judge. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Merry Christmas. Mr. Markham?
Thank you, Judge. Merry Christmas.
That's great. I want to call out Stan Reagan on his last fiscal court meeting. You're welcome to. Any comments, Stan? I know you have something to say. Yes, indeed. That's right. Thank you, Stan, for that. And good to see you as well, Lawrence, here today. Treasurer Burrell?
Thank you, Judge. Merry Christmas to everyone.
Merry Christmas. Ms. Milligan, Mother of Champions.
I was going to say, I just really appreciate you taking time to acknowledge the accomplishment of those cheerleaders. They really do. Truly, if you are the parent of a cheerleader, your life revolves around cheerleading practice. They left here today to go to cheerleading practice. So, and they have 2-a-days many times when they're out of school. So they get early release Wednesday and they go to cheerleading practice. They're there from 1 to 6. So they are dedicated to that sport. So yeah. I really do appreciate it. Sometimes they get a little overlooked, I think, says the mom of somebody who's, I'm really proud of them. But I appreciate that very much. So yeah. I appreciate it. And I also very much appreciate working with each and every one of you. You are so dedicated. Kevin, this is why Warren County is so great, is because you are absolutely right. Everyone in this room works together. We reach across the aisle to the city. You take our call anytime we need something, and we so appreciate that. So I just want to thank everyone for everything that they do, and I hope everyone has a very Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and everybody be safe and enjoy their families.
Thank you, thank you. Clerk Cummings.
I would like to say, since we were congratulating state champions today, my son was on the Legacy Christian Academy middle school boys basketball team, and they won the Kentucky Christian Schools Athletic Association state championship this past weekend as well.
Who was the leading scorer?
Oh, that would be my son. I love it.
That's awesome. We'd love to have them in January as well, so it's great. That was a great thing, yes.
That's great. Oh, and I'd also like to say, on your behalf, that Team Warren County donated $2,300 to your Red Kettle Challenge for the Salvation Army. So Merry Christmas and Feliz Navidad.
That was very kind. You know, I think we should all get along and not be competitive. I smoked the mayor in that whole thing, and so that's what, that was my only mission in life, was just to do that and everything. But yes, thank you for that. But what a great organization, Salvation Army, is always happy to help them as well. Brian Downing.
Thank you. I want to say there's been a lot of things changing in here, and one of my favorite speeches of all time is from Jim Valvano. And in that speech, when he was getting the Arthur Ashe Award for Courage, he says you have to remember where you started, where you are, and where you're going. And so for Christmas, we wanted to give you a little something to remember where you started, so you don't forget.
Is the camera still
As
rolling?
things are changing.
Keep rolling. Watch the face.
The camera's still rolling.
Watch the facial expression.
Hard work by our second district magistrate, Tom Lawrence here.
Holy smokes. Who's this from?
Well, Tom did the engraving.
Fantastic. That's fantastic.
Oh, is this the carpet in my
This is the
office?
carpet from your office?
Now that is awesome right there. That's good. That's right. The stories that carpet could tell. Well, thank you very much.
We worked real hard to find a piece that had a stain on it. So you'll never forget the wear and tear.
I love it. I love it.
Okay. I deserve that, that's right. Well, they're selling off the, yes, thank you for that, Brian. They're selling off the carpet at the Nashville airport, that thing, so I guess we should have made something on those, but thank you for that. Thank you for that. Squire McWhirter.
Merry Christmas to everyone. I do enjoy working. People ask me all the time, well, how's the new judge doing and the new magistrates, and it's wonderful. Enjoy working with everyone.
Same here.
And Kevin Jackson.
That's right. Squire Aldridge.
Thank you, Judge. I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Great, thank you. Squire Cummings.
A couple things. I'll continue to lift up Chris Coomer and his family for the struggles and health issues going. We're going to continue to pray for them and their family. Also, we need to always remember the reason for the season and never forget why Christmas is about. We get all caught up in hustle and bustle and buying and doing, but hopefully you all take a chance to worship at your local house of worship and enjoy the season and the reason for that. And Merry Christmas to everybody. And I too am very, very blessed to be part of this team and very proud to be working with each and every one of you all.
Great. Thank you. Squire Lasley.
I'd like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, and in particular, thank everybody that, as you mentioned earlier, Jailer Harmon, a lot of folks are going to be working on Christmas that keep this county working and going, and really appreciate them, and not only just this time of year, but year-round. Those are really the folks that make the difference in the county, and I appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you. Merry Christmas. Squire Lawrence.
Yes, Judge, I'd just like to say thank you to all my friends and people I work with around here. It really is a good work environment. We get along good, and we don't care where a good idea comes from. We take it and we run with it. And I'd also like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas to you. The hat was your idea? I'm glad you're going to run with that. That's good. So I like it, so. That's awesome. It's fantastic. Squire Williams.
Thank you, Judge.
I know this was a big day for you.
Oh, it's a big day. Yeah, I let my purple pride maybe shine a little louder than it should have.
No, that's all right.
You know, when they do something like they've done, and these young people should be recognized for it. And I am so proud of them. So, thanks for taking the time to honor them in fiscal court. I think that will also mean a lot to them on down the road. I do want to, like everyone else, wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I also would like to say to all those who reached out to me, whether it was a phone call, a text, a card, a message on social media, this has been a rough time in losing my father. So we'll miss him, but thank you for the thoughts and the prayers.
Yes.
We appreciate that. Merry Christmas.
Great. Merry Christmas to you too. I would ask that everyone keep a good friend of mine, John Smiley, who is one of the partners with Builders by Design, passed away unexpectedly. Just truly one of the nicest people you could ever meet, and keep his wife and boys in your prayers. You always, losing someone is part of life. I always think to myself, I'd love to have at least a November and December moratorium, but it doesn't happen that way. And so sometimes you hope the great memories will be the first thing of your loved one, not the season. And so I would pray that for you as well, Rick, that you would do that. I would like to just say very quickly here before we wrap up that I have felt this way my entire life, but I've been the most blessed person who ever walked the planet. And being up here truly is, I'm honored and humbled to work with each of you. It is something I do not take lightly. I feel like I'm, to be quite honest with you, obligated to serve this community for what this community has always done for me. And so it is one of the highest honors of my life to be able to work with each of you. And I've appreciated the staff that we have. I do not appreciate working with them in this room back here. But as I've said, I haven't worked with people in the same office in 35 years, but I'm getting used to it. They know I'm playing. We have a great team. What I've been very happy about is the group of people that come together about that. What I would ask, though, is that each of you spend as much time as humanly possible next week with the people that you love. And the one thing that can never change is the memories you have. And so those look differently for some of us sometimes. And I know I'm not the only person. We always like to say the Gorman family puts the fun in dysfunctional. And so sometimes at the holiday season, we focus on the wrong things. And I would ask you to focus on the right things, and those things being around the people that you love, making memories with those. You can never have enough pictures, and so take pictures and enjoy that time. And so I'm thankful for each and every one of you, and I want to hope each one of you has a very, very Merry Christmas. And with that, we can have a motion to adjourn by Squire Lawrence. And let me.
That's one now.
That's one, and a second by Squire Cummings. Before we do that, Squire Lawrence, thank you for filling in for me last fiscal court meeting. I sure appreciate that as well. So we have that. So with that, we are adjourned. Thank you.